Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, host of the Football History Dude podcast, right here on the Sports History Network. Now, before we jump into another sports history adventure, let me tell you about this episode's sponsor. We partnered with Rochester Sports Autographs, the largest JSA authenticated autograph distributor in the United States, where you can get deals on over 30,000 autographed sports collectibles. They even have film, music, and other entertainment autographs on the site, so there's something for everyone. Perhaps you're looking for a gift for Mother's Day, or maybe Father's Day. Heck, who needs a holiday as an excuse to give a piece of sports history to your loved ones? Or how about yourself? Today seems like a great day to add to your sports cave, right? But how is RSA able to offer such great deals on JSA authentication, you ask? Well, they do this by making deals directly with athletes, so there are no extra markups, and they choose to pass these savings on to the customer. All orders from Rochester Sports Autographs are top quality and shipped to your door with top authentication and money-back guarantee. And to make sure RSA knows that the Sports History Network sent you, we created a special link for you. All you have to do is head to shoprsa.com/SHN. Again, that's shoprsa.com/SHN. Head over there to get your piece of sports history today. This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. My last podcast talked about the first World's Strongest Man contest in 1977. Olympic weightlifter Bruce Wilhelm easily won the competition and returned in 1978 to defend his title. The total number of competitors increased from 8 in 1977 to 10 in 1978, but Wilhelm was the only one returning from the previous year. While last year's competition had only one non-American participant, this year had 3. The 10 events remained the same, and the venue remained the same, Universal Tour Center in Hollywood, California. Now let's take a look at the competitors. Bruce Wilhelm was the defending champion. Wilhelm was a national weightlifting champion in the super heavyweight division in 1975 and in 1976, and was voted as America's best weightlifter in 1977. Bruce also placed 5th at the 1976 Olympics. The 326-pound, 32-year-old Wilhelm was a former shot putter and the first American lifter to snatch 400 pounds. Next we have Don Reinhardt. The 33-year-old Reinhardt was the heaviest competitor, standing 6'3" and weighing 344 pounds. Big Don was a 4-time world champion in powerlifting from 1973 to 1976. Reinhardt set 40 powerlifting records during his career and was a great all-around athlete in school, excelling in basketball, football, and the shot put. At one point during his powerlifting career, Don held the world record in the squat, deadlift, bench press, and total simultaneously. Our next competitor is Lars Hedlund. The 29-year-old from Sweden weighed in at 313 pounds. Hedlund finished 3rd at the 1979 World Powerlifting Championships, 2nd at the 1979 European Championships, and 1st at the 1980 European Championships. Lars set numerous bench press world records throughout his powerlifting career. Next up, we have Gus Rethwich. The 31-year-old powerlifter tipped the scales at 324 pounds. Gus placed 2nd at the 1977 USA Nationals, third at the 1978 Nationals, and first at the 1980 Nationals. Gus was one of the few men during the 1970s to have squatted 900 pounds in competition. Our next competitor, John Matuszak, the 28-year-old NFL defensive end, was somewhat of an odd choice for this competition. Unlike fellow NFL star Bob Young, who competed in 1977, the Twos was not known for doing a lot of weightlifting or powerlifting, although he was a state shot put champion in high school. Matuszak played in the NFL from 1973 to 1982 and was a two-time Super Bowl champion. The 6'8" Twos typically played at about 280 pounds, but put on about 30 pounds for this competition. Next, we have John Kolb. The 31-year-old, 262-pound Kolb had a reputation for being one of the strongest players in the NFL, and he proved it by winning the Strongest Man in Football competition at age 34. Kolb played offensive tackle for the Steelers for 13 seasons and was named first-team All-Pro in 1979. John was later a strength and conditioning coach for the Steelers. Our next competitor, Ivan Puchki. The 5'10", 248-pound Puchki was the oldest competitor at 37 years old. Puchki, from Poland, Krakow, Poland, was a professional wrestler who also competed in bodybuilding and powerlifting. Next up, we have Jack Wright, the 240-pound wrist wrestler / arm wrestler, was only 21 years old. Wright did it all, from college football to stuntman to wrestling bears. Wright also did feats of strength and is reported to have done a raw 555-pound bench press. Our next competitor, Brian Oldfield, the 33-year-old, 6'5", 248-pound Oldfield, placed sixth for Team USA at the 1972 Olympics and set numerous world records in the shot put. However, many of those records were discounted because he joined a professional track and field organization. In 1984, at age 38, he broke the official amateur world record with a throw of 72 feet and 9 inches. Oldfield also competed in the Scottish Highland Games and the Superstars competition, where he easily won the weightlifting competition and placed second in the 100-yard dash with a time of 10.4 seconds. Our final competitor, Boris I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this name, Boris Digeresa. The 26-year-old, 248-pound Digeresa was a hammer thrower from Israel who moved to the U.S. in the 1970s and qualified for the 1980 USA Olympic team, but did not get to compete due to the boycott. He placed first at the AAU Championships in 1975 and again in 1978. And he placed second in 1979. Now let's take a look at the events. First, we have the barrel lift. Don Reinhardt won this event, lifting a 270-pound barrel from the ground to overhead. Boris Digeresa tied Bruce Wilhelm for second place, despite weighing considerably less than Reinhardt and Wilhelm. Gus Rethwich took third place. Our second event, the steel bar bend. This event is always a crowd pleaser. The contestants gave it their all. Wilhelm and Lars Hedlund tied for first, followed by Reinhardt and John Kolb. The next event was the girl lift, or the squats. Don Reinhardt won his second event here, followed by Wilhelm, Rethwich, and DiGerasa. I really don't know how to pronounce that name. Rethwich and DiGerasa tied for second place. The wrist roll, John Kolb easily won this event, finishing with a fantastic time of just 18.7 seconds. Lars Hedlund finished second, and pro wrestler Ivan Polish Power Putski finished third place. Next event is the wheelbarrow race. The wheelbarrow was loaded up with 750 pounds of weight. Wilhelm emerged as the victor. Rethwich finished in second place, followed by NFL lineman John Kolb. Ivan Putski pulled a calf muscle in this event, which affected his performance for the rest of the competition. The next event was the tire toss. Hammer thrower Boris DiGerasa was the heavy favorite in this event, but throwing a tire isn't the same as throwing a hammer, and Boris finished a disappointing fourth. Shot putter Brian Oldfield won this event and was followed by Reinhardt and Wilhelm. The next event was the car lift. This was another fan favorite. The first car lifted was celebrity Jack Benny's old Maxwell. The following car used was the car Paul Newman used in the movie The Sting. And the final vehicle lifted was used by Peter Falk in the television show Columbo. Don Reinhardt won his third first-place finish in this event. He was followed by Wilhelm in second place. Next up, we have the tram pull. The weight of the tram car was an astounding 9,600 pounds, and the competitors had to pull it 100 feet. Reinhardt took another first-place finish, and it was starting to look like he might take the crown away from defending champion Bruce Wilhelm, who finished second in this event. Lars Hedlund came in third. Our next event, the refrigerator race. The big Swede, Lars Hedlund, won this event, carrying the 420-pound fridge 100 feet in just 13.4 seconds. Reinhardt did not do well in this event, so the pressure was on Wilhelm to come through, and he did, finishing in second place. John Kolb qualified for the tug-of-war by finishing third in this event. Now the final event is the tug-of-war, and it came down to the final four. Reinhardt easily defeated Kolb, as was expected given that he outweighed his opponent by 83 pounds. Lars Hedlund gave Wilhelm a scare as he almost beat the defending champ. But after one full minute of all-out effort, Wilhelm came out the victor. But now the question was whether or not Big Bruce had anything left in the tank to defeat Reinhardt, who outweighed Wilhelm by 17 pounds. The 1976 Olympian rose to the occasion and beat Reinhardt to win his second World's Strongest Man contest. The final results: first place, Bruce Wilhelm, 64 points. Second place, Don Reinhardt, 58 points. Third place, Lars Hedlund, 39 points. Fourth place, John Kolb, 23 points. Fifth place, Gus Rethwich, 17 points. Sixth place, Boris DiGerasa, 15 points. Seventh place, Brian Oldfield, 13 points. Eighth place, Ivan Putski, 6 points. Ninth place, Jean Matusek, 5 points. And in 10th place was Jack Wright, who did not have any points. Well, that concludes our podcast for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.